Welcome, beautiful Paris Saint Germain family, to the full game preview of Paris Saint Germain versus Atletico Bilbao in the UEFA Champions League. Paris Saint Germain are going into its sixth game of this Champions League group stage. After this game, there will only be 2 games left that will be played obviously in 2026, and we will be facing Atletico Bilbao this 10th of December, this Wednesday, 2025, 21 Central European Time at the San Mames. It's an away game for Paris Saint Germain. You can pause the video for the quick time zones for the upcoming game. Atletico Bilbao are in not that good of a form. I actually think I've done this incorrect. So they have 1 victory in their last 5 games, which was against 2 victories in their last games against Atletico Madrid and Levante, but they got destroyed by Barca 4-0 and destroyed by Madrid 3-0 and getting a 0-0 draw away but to Slavia Prague. So Atletico Bilbao are not coming in with that good of a form. Even though they beat Atletico Madrid in the last game, I don't think it means that much. I think it's more of a negative thing for Atletico Madrid to lose to Atletico Bilbao when they are in a potential title race with Barca and Madrid. But it just shows you Atletico Bilbao not that good. They obviously finished 4th last season, went into the UEFA Champions League, but so far in the Champions League, I think they're sitting 27th. And that's the thing. This is a huge game for Bilbao in the sense of it's survival. If they lose this game, it's over. I think it could potentially already be over with Atletico Bilbao in the UEFA Champions League. Maybe they have another tough game coming up as well. But I think their Champions League hopes is basically done. So all they're focusing is getting back to the Champions League for next season. Obviously, they won 1-0 against Atletico Madrid. It's a very good win for Atletico Bilbao. But I don't take anything seriously. As I said, it's more just Atletico Madrid. They were in like 14-game unbeaten win streak in La Liga. And then they lose to Barca. And then they lose their heads and lose to this very mid Bilbao team. Atletico Bilbao will be missing a lot of players for this upcoming game. I think Navarro, Prados, Paredes, Igulaz, and Sanadi are all rotation, not really starters. Yerar, though, he's a very experienced Bilbao player. He's a starter for them at centre-back. And obviously, we know about Inaki Williams. He will be missing this game and all of the other players. This is Atletico Bilbao's predicted lineup going into game. Obviously, Unai Simon, starter for Spain, so their best player alongside Nico Williams, Areso, Vivian Leuke, and Berčić being the defense. Berčić, we obviously know him from his time at Paris Saint Germain, former PSG player. Vivian, I think he's like that defensive captain in the defensive line. And Leuke, from what I know, is a fullback that's having to play. He's either converted as a centre-back now that he's gotten older, but he is the replacement for Yeray, who's missing this game. The Galarreta, Berenguer, and Jorur Gizar in the midfield. I mean, let's be honest here. This is a midfield. I know that Berenguer is a good player. And has been good for Bilbao so far this season. But De La Garreta and Jorur Gizar, I mean, these are NPC players they have in their midfield. And we've come up against so many teams that have these NPC type of players and can't take it seriously going into the game. Obviously, in attack, Sanchez should be back, who is basically Atletico Bilbao's best player. Guru Zeta as a striker, and obviously Nico Williams as the left winger. His full formation here for Atletico Bilbao. Good goalkeeper, but even Unai Simon, I saw him versus Madrid, saw him versus Barca. Like, he's questionable. I still don't understand how he's the starting keeper for the Spanish national team. Cheeky defense. Unknown midfield, I guess, and then you attack. Sanchez, as I mentioned, he should be their best player. Berenguer is also good. Nico Williams, we know about him. It's going to be a huge game for Warren Zara Emre playing as a right back, facing up against Nico Williams, who's one of the quickest, best dribbling left wingers in the world. It'll be really interesting what Warren Zara Emre can do. But looking at this Bilbao team, this is a team we should beat. They have some good players here and there, but this is a team like La Liga fodder. La Liga fodder. It just tells you this is the 4th, 5th best team in La Liga. It just tells you about the quality of La Liga. My ones to watch going into this game has to be Sanchez. I've heard a lot of great stuff from him. He was very good for Bilbao in the Europa League, and they lost, I think, in the semi-final to Manchester United. So Sanchez was good. He was recently injured, so I think he missed the Madrid game and potentially even the Barca game. But he's going to be back for this game, starting this game for Atletico Bilbao, which is going to be a huge thing for them, obviously. And he's my ones to watch from this Bilbao team. He's the one I want to see how good is he, actually, because he's better and more important than Nico, at least from what we saw last season. Going into Paris Saint Germain, we're coming in with 4 victories and 1 defeat in our last 5 games. Paris Saint Germain starting to get the ball rolling, becoming more consistent, and the biggest thing, becoming much better in Ligue 1. We obviously won the last game 5-0 versus Stade de Rennes at the Parc des Princes. Man of the match performance from Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. But once again, it was a beautiful team performance from Paris Saint Germain. And we steadily starting to get into gear. I mean, this is the most we've scored in a Ligue 1 game since our 6-3 victory over Toulouse in the beginning of the season. 4 games in. So Paris Saint Germain is definitely improving game by game. But in the UCL, it's a different story. We've been cooking in the UCL this entire season. Going into, players, potential absentees as well. We have Desiree Doué and Nuno Mendes, who both should be back to the squad. We haven't seen Nuno Mendes since the Spurs game. We haven't seen Desiree Doué since our game versus Lorient away in Ligue 1. But both of them should be back for this game. I think it's maybe slightly unlikely, more unlikely a little bit with Nuno Mendes, but both Nuno Mendes and Desiree Doué should be in the squad for Paris Saint Germain. We could potentially see Nuno Mendes even starting the game, as Desiree Doué obviously has been out for way longer, and Nuno Mendes, I mean, we saw him get an injury before, then play, cook and have a masterclass. When it comes to Ousmane Dembélé, there was a little bit of scariness when I woke up and saw the reports, because Dembélé had a flu-esque syndrome or something and missed partial of the training and so on. But from the most recent reports that have just dropped, Ousmane Dembélé should be ready to play this Bilbao game. I still think Luis Enrique, with another report that dropped, they will take it easy. They want Dembélé to come back to his best. And it's not like we need Dembélé from the start in this game, a bit like the Bayern game before, when there was more pressure on Paris Saint Germain to play Dembélé. Dembélé will not be starting this game, but he should be in the squad alongside Desiree Doué and Nuno Mendes. And finally, Achraf Hakimi, as we know, he will be out for Paris Saint Germain. His recovery is going really well, and he will obviously be participating for Morocco in the AFCON tournament. When it comes to Lucas Chevalier, he is out for this game. He will not be in the squad, as he's still trying to rehabilitate and recover from his injury, which means Matviev Safonov is going to be the starting goalkeeper for Paris Saint Germain in this upcoming game, having a great performance in his recent game versus Stade de Rennes at the Parc des Princes. Very happy with Safonov starting this game. He's obviously played 2 Champions League games for Paris Saint Germain before. He played versus Girona, the game which we won 1-0, and he played versus Bayern München, the game which we lost 1-0, which was a Safonov mistake, but he was really good in that game, apart from that mistake. So feeling confident with him. The defense, Nuno Mendes could be starting this game. As we know, Lucas Hernandez is suspended. He got a red card versus Bayern, and he's suspended versus Spurs, and he's suspended for even longer. He'll be suspended for 3 games. This is a change that UEFA started to do. Obviously, we saw Luis Diaz get the 3-game suspension, and now it's time for Lucas Hernandez. He will be missing all of the group stage games, including this Athletic Bilbao game, the upcoming Sporting Lisbon and Newcastle game. So Lucas Hernandez will be out, so it will be Nuno Mendes as the left back, or it will be Lucas Beraldo playing as that left back. Obviously, in our recent game versus Rennes, Nuno Mendes didn't play. Lucas Hernandez played, but Lucas Hernandez obviously unavailable for this game. So Nuno Mendes, I think he will start. Pacho, Marquinhos, and Warren Zaire-Emery obviously coming in for Hakimi. But if Nuno Mendes does not start, it has to be Lucas Beraldo who will be playing as the left back in this game. Going into the midfield, we'll have the midfield 3, the Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets, the Modric, Casemiro, Cruz, João Neves, Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz. We obviously saw João Neves and Vitinha from the start in the recent game versus Rennes, with Fabian Ruiz coming on as a substitute, but Fabian Ruiz should be starting this game for Paris Saint Germain. And up in attack, Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. Please, Khvicha, please do the thing you gotta do. Senimayolu and Bradley Barcola. This will be Senimayolu's 5th start in the Champions League so far this season. He started in every single Champions League game apart from the Bayern game, where he was opted with Ousmane Dembélé instead, which just tells you how much and highly rated Senimayolu is. Apart from the Spurs game, he didn't start the Spurs game, which was a little bit interesting. Luis Enrique preferring Njanto in that game. Who knows, maybe Luis Enrique prefers Njanto in this game as well. But this is the lineup that Paris Saint Germain are going to come in with. Nothing that much to say. This is how it's going to look fluid-wise. We're going to see Nuno, Pacho, Marquinhos creating more of a 3 at the back. Fabian dropping a little bit so Nuno Mendes can push up. Neves and Vitinha there in the midfield with Fabian Ruiz. Warren Zaire-Emery obviously will push up, sometimes invert, sometimes hold the width. Barcola sometimes hold the width, sometimes invert. Senimayolu basically have a freedom. False 9 role there up in attack. And Khvicha Kvaratskhelia, the superstar of that left side, and he's obviously my ones to watch. He's basically been my ones to watch for majority of the Champions League games so far this season, mostly because we're missing our actual ones to watch, Ousmane Dembélé. But Khvicha Kvaratskhelia is coming off his best performance in Paris Saint Germain so far this season, and one of the best we've ever seen for Khvicha Kvaratskhelia in a Paris Saint Germain jersey. 2 goals, absolute complete domination, creating chances, dribbling past his opponents. This is what we want to see. And Khvicha, you're coming up against La Liga defenders. By far and by easily the worst defenders. They don't have that much athletic stuff. They're not that quick. They're not that strong. They're slow. They have good passing and high IQ, but that won't help them when they're defending against you. So once again, I'm expecting huge stuff from Khvicha Kvaratskhelia. We saw the Atalanta performance. That's why I'm expecting from Khvicha Kvaratskhelia in this game. And my prediction is a 4-1 victory to Paris Saint Germain. I would love more goals. This game feels a little bit as that Bayer Leverkusen game. I predicted, I think, a 4-1. We won 7-2. So that's what I'm feeling going into this game. Paris Saint Germain away in the Champions League are way better, and that's why I'm continuing us to expect. If we win this game, we'll have 15 points in the UEFA Champions League. 2 games remaining. We'll already basically be top 8 confirmed. I want to get as high as a spot as possible. I want to win all of our remaining games. Imagine having 7 victories and only 1 defeat, and that defeat is to Bayern München. Very great stuff from Paris Saint Germain. That should be the aim. Get the 3 points, get a great victory, get a great performance. Because our next game is going to be versus Metz, a relegation battling team. We're going to have some more rotated squad. And then obviously we have the Intercontinental Cup to look forward to. The final versus most likely Flamengo. Could be some other teams and so on. But yeah, let's get the job done. Let's get the 3 points. Let's get a victory. And let's get a great performance in this game. Let's get as many goals as possible. We have scored the most goals in the Champions League so far this season with 19. Let's continue that. That's been it from boy PSGINT. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed this preview. Let me know in the comments down below. What's your prediction for Paris Saint Germain versus Atletico Bilbao? And as usual, allez, Paris.